Water is a colorless and odorless substance, which is composed of the chemical elements hydrogen and oxygen that is found all over the earth, and 71% of the earth's surface is composed of water, where oceans cover up to 96.5% of the earth's water.
The world has so many water resources, but only surface water, which includes lakes and rivers, are being used to supply to our homes.
Water is a necessity in life that is always used for drinking, cooking, taking a bath, and other human activities that are being done every day. Also, this leads to a strong, healthy, and illness-free life.
But with the water resources that we have, it seems that we humans are spending and wasting way too much beyond our resources capacity.
Societal issues like water scarcity, water shortage, unclean and unsafe bodies of water, and water diseases are being experienced all over the globe.
Water scarcity refers to insufficient access to the water resources necessary to sustain a region, and some factors that contribute to water shortage are population growth, climate change, water pollution, and human activities such as littering to various bodies of water.
According to a report in 2018, India experienced the worst water crisis in its history, where 24 out of the 29 cities experienced water scarcity because of lack of infrastructure to deliver water in every home. This threatened their food security as 80% of water is used in agriculture, and other areas were also badly affected by a lack of access to clean water. This warns that 21 cities in India are likely to run out of groundwater by 2020 despite increasing demand. The more alarming part is that around 200,000 Indians die every day because they have no access to clean water.
With all of these, many problems are being experienced by humans, such as being susceptible to certain illnesses and diseases due to lack of access to safe and clean drinking water. There are threatened ecosystems, unhealthy economies, and increased poverty that the world is facing today.
In the Philippines, water is very abundant because we have a lot of bodies of water. But there are problems regarding the allocation of water and water resource management in our country, where we are experiencing water shortage here in Metro Manila and other places in the Philippines.
What are the reasons behind this? And what can we do about it?
Water resource management is the activity of planning, developing, distributing, and managing the optimum use of water resource, and it is a subset of water cycle management.
Water cycle is where water falls from the sky as rain or snow and sinks into the surface. It is collected into lakes, oceans, or aquifers and evaporates again to continue the cycle.
The water cycle explains the continuous movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. It is also referred to as a hydrological cycle. This cycle involves the continuous circulation and processes that water go through. Among these, the most important are evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, and runoff.
Water resource management includes consideration of all of the above disciplines of hydrology. Water supplies are allocated and diverted to a range of agricultural, municipal, industrial, hydroelectric, and ecological needs. Some of these water uses are consumptive, removing water from the system. Other types of water use return the water to a river, lake, or to the ground, but the water often requires treatment to restore it to a natural state. Sometimes this is not possible.
In our country, we face extreme weather events, increasing demand conflicts, and environmental degradation. The authorities must and need to face these problems in order to efficiently manage the water resources needed in our daily lives.
Insufficient planning and database will also lead us to insufficient planning framework. In order to efficiently manage our water resources, we need sufficient planning framework that will guide sectors and agencies to have good coordination and will help them to regulate activities across subsectors.
management, andyan yung people. Are the people who are in position really qualified? Tapos, andyan yung kulang tayo ng data. So, kailangan may research component na maaaring hindi nila alam yung situation completely. So, there has to be research. Siyempre, yung research, hindi science research lang. You have social science research. So, andyan yung pinag-aaralan yung different scenarios, different mga crises. Hindi dapat sa universities lang mga research. Dapat ang government is actively researching also. At open to new ideas. Open to look at the practices, the best practices in other countries. How have other countries addressed the problem? Nagkakaroon ng division in society. So you have the educated, you have the uneducated. The educated want their children to be educated. The uneducated do not care about educating their children. So we have to do something about breaking that kind of thinking. We have to exert direct and indirect, no?
Just recently, we had a problem with water shortage. Actually, there are two kinds of water shortage. The extreme one is the water scarcity. Then we have the water stress first. So the lesser evil is the water stress. So the difference is that just the amount of water that a person consumes is already below the standard. So the standard is about 1.3 cubic meter per person. So right now, as per the study of a Japanese researcher, just for the Laguna Lake as one source, where the Philippines is already, the study was conducted in 2007, 2004. The Philippines is already second in Southeast Asia, having a water stress indicator. So we're already near water scarcity. 75% of the earth is composed of water. So where's the problem? The problem is the quality of water that we have. So what's the reason? Because we have been utilizing, or we have been deteriorating the quality because of discharges coming from wastewater treatment plants or from commercial and industrial sources. We also have the residential sources. So supposed to be, we should be making sure that after utilizing the water, we should be treating it prior to the discharge. I used to be a property manager of Waterworks of Ayala, Alabang. So the system is already in place. You can read it from books. So what you just need to do is you just have to manage and implement the control system. So in order for us to manage the water, the principle is very basic, and the principle is the one that I have shared with you there. It's what you call the hierarchy of waste management system. So be it water, air problem, air pollution problem, or solid waste, you can apply this. And the first thing that we have to do in order to control or to manage the problem on water is to avoid consumption, overconsumption. So that's source reduction. And then the rest will follow. There's a technology already in, let's say, toilet. See, I'm mentioning common things that you see in your households. Yung toilet natin, di ba? There's a technology wherein the one that you're flashing is the same water that is used to flush. So the water doesn't go directly to the sewer line, pero i-recycle niya sa loob. So if you really can't recycle, because I always tell my students, there's no forever living recycling. So the next is treatment. Applying technology is not always the answer. So source reduction is really on top. But of course, in recycling, you have applied technology there. So sa treatment, you also have to apply technology. As a chemical engineer, we're the one in charge in treating the wastewater. So there are actually three. Primary treatment, this is where you get rid of yung mga suspended solids, the one that you see. Then, after that, the ones that you don't see can be further treated. Tapos may secondary treatment. And then, in order for it not to destroy the ecosystem prior to the discharge, you have to disinfect, which we call the tertiary treatment. And then, you also, the fourth one, which is not part of the wastewater, but solid waste treatment, is the sludge treatment. Because when you treat, you separate you're familiar with Pozo Negro or septic tank. So, you separate the sludge, the solid, from the water. So, basically, yung sludge, the solid part, should also be handled properly. So, ang question dun is you're recycling the water, but would it be cost efficient? You're treating the water, will it be cost efficient? And then the last dimension would be the societal impact. So, you're treating the water, you're saving the water, but how would it affect the people? So, yun. So, those are the measurement of sustainability. The measurement of success. Industrial ecology is a young science that studies industrial systems with the goal of finding ways to lessen their environmental impact. So, to make it more simple, the objective of industrial ecology is to optimize the resources, the energy consumption, the profit at the same time, and optimize also the waste. When you say optimize, it's either maximize or minimize. So, yun yung objective niya. Optimize the resource, optimize the profit, maximize parehas, and minimize the waste. So, that's the science behind water management. Actually, at the front line of educating people, because as you know, I'm a professor and I specialize on environmental studies, and specifically, that's why I talk a lot about water. It's my specialization, water treatment and wastewater treatment. I always tell my students not just to be engineers, but to be sustainable engineers. So again, what do we mean with the word sustainable? Being an engineer, you have to make sure that whatever you do, whether it's a treatment, it's a recycling technology, or whether you just use it, you have to think of its sustainability in terms of economic, environmental, and social. So you always have to ask yourself, what would be the impact of this management scheme? The best thing to do is to do a water footprinting. What's a footprinting? Before you consume something, you have to know how much to be consumed. You have to make sure that the demand is equal to the supply. If not, you have to find alternative resources before you consume. So,
The Philippines has been recently experiencing water shortage, specifically in the National Capital Region, and many of the Filipinos in the cities of Metro Manila have been experiencing the consequences of the water shortage for sanitation, drinking, agriculture, and industry happening in our country because our water resources are slowly depleting. And there will be a time that our country's water demand will not match the country's water resources. And this is the most alarming situation that we can face. So there's a need for all of us to conserve water.
Irrigation systems should be improved. Instead of flood irrigation systems, farmers can use sprinklers or drip irrigation systems, which could help the agricultural sector save tremendous amount of water and the growth of plant as well. Flood irrigation system requires a lot of water when watering the plants and crops, but not all are being watered. With the help of this system, we can assure that plants and crops are being watered properly.
Do not waste water. We must learn how to save water by not wasting even a single droplet of it. Because if all of us will waste a single droplet of water every day, it can lead to water shortage. Recycle and save our precious waters.
We should stop doing activities that can pollute and destroy our water. Only less than 3% of the world's water is accessible for drinking. So what we must do is we should stop throwing our waste and garbage in the bodies of water, maintain its cleanliness, and promote healthier living.
We must change our water consumption and lifestyle. If we think that we are consuming a lot of water in the activities that we do, we must change our ways and start to conserve water before it is too late.
There should be water filtration systems. This will ensure that fresh water can be put to good use. This is the technology to produce purified water free from bacteria, microbes, and other contaminants. Bringing this clean water to as many schools, hospitals, workplaces, and homes as possible will solve our problems about water.
Water is one of our most important resources, as living thing needs water to survive. Water conservation means using less water or recycling used water for it to be able to use again. This type of program is important because it helps conserve water and prevent people from using too much water that it cannot be replaced by rain, which helps us in our water resource management. Water conservation helps people and government save money. Most importantly, we can stop water shortage.
Water is very important in our everyday lives, for we, humans, can do so much with water. We can live and enjoy the lives that we have, and we can solve many environmental issues because of water. But with the many problems that we have regarding water, there will be a time that our world will have no water to drink, to use, and to enjoy. So before you waste another drop of water and contribute to these problems, think again before it's too late for the humanity.